going on, Breigh? How you feeling today?
What is going on, Solomon? I am feeling challenged, very challenged in life, but yet hopeful. Still standing.
So we gotta unpack that because I know we always come from the tip of everything is good and da da da.
Yup.
We're human. We have very real experiences. We were talking about some of them early, and I just tell me what's going on. Tell us what's going on so I can tell you what's going on with me.
So, what about 2 weeks ago, the Texas storm happened, and my parents was out of town, which I was excited about because I was like, oh, I get time to myself, woo woo woo. And it ended up being a storm with no electricity, no water for 6 days. And
Okay.
my menstrual came on the exact day. I'm gonna just say it because I'm an adult. It came, and so I just felt nasty. Like, I didn't shower for 6 days. I didn't get to a grocery store until after a week. It was a shit show, but the real battle was the fact that I deal with addiction and I'm in recovery for it. So it was like my addict in me was like, yo, let's just relapse. This is the perfect excuse to relapse. And I was fighting myself while also like crying to God to please give me strength to just make it through this by myself. So, I'm finding my rhythm back, but I just felt so thrown off for that whole week of the Texas storm. And yeah, it's just funny to me how, again, it just seems like as humans, we got to come together every time to get assistance instead of going to our government who is supposed to help us. So that's weird to me, but it happened. Also just like this overwhelming feeling of just like I'm back in school after like 12 years, I never even thought that, but like again with me being in recovery, it's like I'm stepping into this whole new life. I'm also honestly feel like I'm catching up in life and starting over, but it's okay. It's just a lot of feelings of overwhelming and just like, man, my brain could use a break, but it's life. I'm taking it, and the beauty about it is that I'm actually feeling the feelings instead of trying to numb it, because like feelings are feelings that will happen and eventually they will pass. Like I feel overwhelmed or whatever I'm feeling, but eventually I won't feel that. So that's literally how I'm feeling. In yourself?
So before I get into me, I want to talk to some of the stuff you were saying first. I remember when everything popped off, man. Me and fiance, we was thinking about you, and I didn't want to keep
I
texting because I
appreciate
didn't
that,
want
by
you
the
to
way.
lose, battery power.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to charge my phone in the car with the snow, and it was, man, yeah. And there were some times where it died where I just was like, well, I'll try it again tomorrow. I'll just try again. I'm not going out in that.
And I
Yeah.
don't blame you. And then, like I said, that was a thing that was just on my mind. Like, dang, don't text her too much because you're gonna waste the battery. But the other thing we just kept thinking was just you were there by yourself. And I remember we talked. I think people don't understand. Like I'm not going through recovery like you are. But like
Mhm.
I took a month off social. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't express how hard it was. And I'm not gonna lie. Even occasionally, I still clicked on the browser. I might
Mhm.
not have looked at anything, but I clicked on the browser. So I couldn't
Mhm.
have imagined how hard it is to have like, nothing to distract you and just to have to
Mhm.
sit with yourself. And like,
Yeah.
so I
And
just
that
want
came
to,
up too. A lot of life stuff. Honestly, what came up was like, what the fuck, excuse my French, are you doing with your life? And I wasn't trying to come from a place of judgment, but what came up was like, Bree, we are here. We're here in your parents' house. What are we doing? What is our next step? What is our next plan? I got to get honest about that. Like, I know there's ways to talk to yourself, but I had to get really honest about that. That came up for me. Again, the addiction came up for me, just for reflection of life, of just like, how did I get here? But I think when you think about that too, it also helps you be honest with yourself to then get to a place where you want to get to, instead
so
of lying to myself.
no, and I think that's important, but I want
Yeah.
to give like the caveat to it. So like this past week, I decided because I listened to Pastor Todd, even though despite the controversy,
Yeah, yeah.
I listened to his stuff, and so he get the controversy, but
Yeah.
he did a sermon this past week. Are you a paper chaser? And he was talking about paper and purpose or whatever. But the part that got
Ooh.
me, he was talking about how people choose money over what God has put him here to do, and it kind of
Oh.
struck me in a really heavy way. And I tie that back to what you're saying is that I think sometimes the thing I have to always remind myself is you can be honest with yourself. You can be honest about saying, look, this ain't really what I'm supposed to be doing or where I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be at, but I can't get there without embracing where I'm at right now.
Absolutely, you gotta accept reality, and that was the other fight too. During that storm, in this house by myself, freezing cold, no water, toilets not working, I did not want to accept that reality. I wanted to run, I wanted to distract. I even found myself going to social media knowing my battery was gonna die. Like, I had, soon as I accepted reality and really surrendered to God after crying my eyes out and writing pages in my journal, I was cool, but I was fighting to accept reality. Definitely. So you're on the money with that.
But we all do that in our own ways. Like I'll be honest with
Absolutely.
you. Like I was telling you, the challenges I had with December with my fiance and going into this now, it was a lot of parts where I was like, I had to ask some real questions. I was like, God, why is it the one person that I'm deciding to be with is going through this thing? And there
Mm.
were women I really didn't want to be with that it was a different outcome. And I was like, is this like payback? Or is it just me
Mm.
learning to accept I can't control things and I have to accept it?
Oh, yep.
And it was kind of like you can't get everything. So you got to accept that. And you got to accept,
Mm.
like we talk about accepting that mortality of I'm flawed, I got
Oh,
addictions, I'm weak. I'm strong some days, weak as hell other
yep.
days. Even when I think I'm strong, I'm really just lucky.
Ooh, say it.
You know what I'm saying?
Get in your bag. Get in your bag. Yes.
I'm just saying. So, I hear what you're saying and I agree. But, I just want you to realize you went through a lot
Yeah.
and it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay
Hmm.
to not have to directly do anything. Like I was telling my fiance, we go through stuff, don't make any sudden decisions. Like,
And that's what I like to do. So what I did do, sudden decision, I made an appointment straight with my therapist while in
that's
that
a good one.
storm.
That's a good one.
Um, but she also made me see of like how I try to find a solution to everything and problem solve. And she's like, well, if you're really giving control to God and saying that you're not in control, then you can't be trying to problem solve and have an answer for everything. Because I can't have an answer for everything, but I also think that might be a trauma response from, childhood of wanting to have an answer to everything of why I do things or why I say things or why this happened.
And I think it's the
Damn,
same.
I just connected that. Yeah.
Nah, you
Yeah.
did. I can't even lie. Let
I
me
was
give
just
you
like
that.
a light bulb went off, like,
Let me give you that
oh.
clap real quick. Soft clap for that. But nah, I mean, I do the same in my own way because I think my control mechanisms, I like to know things in advance and
Oh my God,
I
yes.
try to
Let me
study.
know the end. Let me know the end of that heel before I start walking that. Oh my God, yes.
And so, a lot of the conflict when you have a spontaneous partner is they just go sometime with how they feel in that moment. Yeah, I'm throwing shots.
Yeah.
I'm throwing shots.
That planner,
You know,
planner versus spontaneous. Yeah.
so with me, it's like when things happen and I'm not able to be effective, it triggers that helplessness feeling, and I hate it to the
Mm.
core. I
Oh my God, you hit it with
hate
the
it.
helplessness. Yes.
So, it's been some challenges, even the helplessness now part. Like I was telling you with my dad, just seeing I can't really do nothing about him aging
Mm.
and how I remember him. It's like I have more compassion for him now, even though he
Wow.
wasn't the best per se in certain aspects. I just don't feel the same
Oh.
compassion. And it's kind of messing me up a little bit because it's like, I don't know, it's just a weird feeling. Every time you see him, you're like, dang, was I present enough in the moment?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
messing with me a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, aging is it's tricky. Well, not tricky. I'll say challenging because you're seeing your parents get older. You also are aging yourself, and there's a whole stigmatizing thing about aging. Like if you age, you ain't it no more. Like basically they treat you like, oh, let's go put them back on the shelf. They're aging now, and we're in our 30s. We still have life to live.
You're not even
I
a
definitely was a person who was like, that 20, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, like, oh, when I'm in my 30s, I'm old, or da da da, it's a wrap, or I gotta have this by 25, because if I don't, then life is over. It's like more and more I'm seeing of like how that actually put constraints on your life. and you really stop yourself from living because you're so focused on future planning and so focused on putting timelines on things are supposed to happen in your life that it might not even happen because you're putting this unnecessary pressure. So with aging for me, I'm just embracing my grades. My grades coming in heavy now, okay? And I'm loving it because I feel like it's strands of wisdom of all the shit that I've gone through.
Like somebody said, the gray hairs are like your jewelry.
Ooh, I
I think
like
this
that.
guy said gray hair is like the jury of a
Mm-hmm.
wise person. I'm gonna say person. He said man, but we'll say
Yeah.
person. And
But
I
it's hard to also see, it is hard for, I agree, it's kind of challenging to see your parents age because their body changes, their behaviors might change. They
but
might
this don't
become more irritable.
exactly.
They might, I feel like with children and older people, they ain't got no type of filter. They're gonna tell you what it is. So and then also possibly the child might have to take on the role as caretaker. That's a thing too. And they might have their own family. Like it's so many layers to that.
it is,
So
and
many.
it is, and I think the thing people don't think a lot about when it comes to, I guess, aging beyond the physical. Like I told my brother, I said,
Mm.
man, I read a book, and I said, think about it. Imagine if you get to the point where you the last one of your friends left. Like,
Ooh.
like my dad is the last of his 10 siblings. He got
Wow.
like a couple friends left. So his friend called him the other day. He was like, yeah, man, I was so happy to talk to so and so. And I know what he gonna talk about because it's the same three conversations. But he was
Yeah.
so happy, and his perception of everything has just changed. He was like, yeah, man, that's still got some people to talk to. Or he'll see me. I ain't seen you forever.
Wow.
You just saw me the other day. I'm like, shoot. It just,
Wow.
that it's so I say that to say, like, imagine if you get 80 or 75 and all your boys and your girls that you used to kick it with at the restaurant, you go to the restaurant and it's just you.
You,
And
yeah.
everybody underneath you looks at you like
Mm-hmm.
you the old one.
You the OG, yeah.
And even if they respect you, you
Mm-hmm.
still see, dang, they just different from me.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a whole nother world. Like,
Yeah.
when I teach,
Absolutely. You feel like you're kind of excluded. That's why I made the joke. I don't know, but there's like this retirement community in Arizona and they look lit. Like they got all the activities, all the stuff. You got people your age, you don't never feel left out because I can see that of how like someone older see someone young like us and it's just like the whole comparison thing. Even when we say we're not going to do it, you're most likely going to do it with the
oh
age
yeah,
comparison thing
oh yeah.
because you're also seeing of just how like life of like wow, like I even think of like people in the industry. Like I was listening to Pharrell and Jay-Z off the Black album and I was just like dang, time has really passed.
And see, I think that's the thing that throws you off. Like music shows it to you because we
Yes.
love Jay. But
Yes.
Jay's really 50. Nas is really almost 50.
Yes.
Kanye's 40 plus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? T.I.'s almost 40. Like,
Wild.
you know,
Wild to hear because it's just like you see these guys, you listen to them, you're like, oh no, almost like they're immortal or they're gonna be young forever. The fangirl in me with music back in the day is like, oh no. That's why I say blog era was that time.
we had that conversation offline, but
Jesus,
that was really an
blog
underrated
era
time.
was the moment.
It was. And I tell the young kids, I was like,
Ooh,
y'all think the 90s was popping. It was. I was like, but that '05,
that old,
like
ooh,
2010 era was like, it was some stuff in there, man. That was J. Cole, Big
mm.
Crit, Wiz Khalifa,
That
all that.
09, that 10, woo, child, yeah.
That the Travis Porter, the Walker
Oh
era,
my
you know what
God,
I'm saying?
yes.
That was a good
You
time.
had to be there.
So, but I guess the thing about getting age, and I have more compassion now, and even with younger kids, because I walked in the class
Mm,
the other day, and it was a third grader, and
mhm.
he's Hispanic, and he's kind of new to the country, and we were going over letters, and I was like, "What letter is that?" And the letter was J, and his name begins with a J,
But he
and
pronounced it different.
he didn't know the letter though. He
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
And I looked at it. I was like, "It's okay, buddy. We're gonna get you the letter chart tomorrow." He was so happy, and I was like, "This is what older people are supposed to do for younger people.
That's
Just
so
help them."
true because like That's just all they want. You just reminded me of how, like, with Zoom, I helped this lady who really wanted to learn how to host it, and she was just like, no, 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 no. I was like, ma'am, I could stay 10 minutes with you and help you. And like 10 minutes turned into an hour, but it was like, I was happy to be of service. And she just like called me and thanked me and thanked me. She was like, thank you for just giving me time to learn. Because like, she's like, it made me feel like just because I'm this age, I'm still never too late to learn. And that just felt good to help her, because it's like, again, there's this whole thing with like aging of like, it's like this cutoff of like learning. And I tell my parents, like, you can still learn.
And they don't get that. Like,
no, they don't get it. No, they don't get it. Ah.
And that's why I feel like millennials are gonna be different, because I feel like we're gonna be 60. We're gonna be like, what's the new technology? Man,
Right.
I'm not joining that.
Wait, I can jump across the screen and go somewhere else.
You might.
Right, I feel like it. That would be wild if we could really teleport. Yo,
I can see a lot of crazy stuff happening. Like I can
you
see
think the
myself.
Jetsons will ever happen?
You said what?
The Jetsons,
Oh, the Jetsons?
George Jetson. You think they'll ever happen? They really trying to make that happen. They tried many times.
I feel like they got it already. I think here's what I really think. They're gonna wait till we get to a certain age and there ain't that many of us left. And the next generation will be like 60. They'll be like, man.
Oh dang. When you think they dropping the aliens on us? I've been waiting for that.
The next 20 years.
Word. I wonder even how our style will become. I wonder, like, will we actually adopt the whole thing Kanye tries to do, which is like the minimalistic of colors?
And honestly, this is what I'm waiting on. And maybe this is me. I'm waiting on the Kanye biopic. I'm waiting on it so heavily. I think I'm waiting on that. And when they finally show like the impact he's had, I'm be like,
oh, he has, yeah. That's no doubt. Like whatever whatever our opinions or assumptions about Kanye, is just that. But we gotta give credit when credit due. He was on stuff way ahead of his time and was like that, almost like that nagging preacher of like, I'm trying to tell y'all. And then when it happens, they're just like,
like every time I see stuff, I'll be like, okay, in 2005, he was speaking out against homophobia. In 08, 09, he was speaking out against addiction to luxury and material goods.
He told y'all about the leather jeggings. And guess what? Ooh, I almost said it. And guess what they started wearing?
Leather jacket.
Leather jeggings.
He said, man, I want to be with the high fashion brand like LVMH, Virgil, Rihanna, da-da-da. Now Jay doing something with LVMH. I'm like,
It also, you saying that too also makes me think about like how important community is. Like, I think me on this side, and then seeing someone like Kanye, you think like there's this like special, I don't know, magic dust or secret formula they did. But what they really did was create a collective or a community and really just built up with each other. Like, you really can do that if you get with people that really want to build. And that also came up for me during the Texas storm too. Like, I just had all this time to think about stuff. And I was like, I really want to be around people who want to build as like a collective or a community. And I think everyone elevates.
And I think that's important because, like, I remember I looked at Saha did an interview today. He said the thing people don't understand about Kanye, he said Kanye is a type, if you influence him in any way, he gonna give you credit. He said if you walked in with a leather jacket and he put it in the song, he'd be like, thank you for inspiring me. Here's a writing credit.
Nice.
And I'm like,
that's kind of fire.
But that's how we gotta be, like you were saying, with being collective. It's like, I know somebody, okay, I know Breigh. She can do this. Breigh, you know somebody who just wants to help. They may not
get alley hoop to your homie. You don't gotta take all of it. Especially if it ain't for you. Like, I even know people who hold on to opportunities that's literally none of their interest. And it's so disgusting.
It is. I see it all the time. It's like people like, I know somebody that's a writer.
That's that power struggle stuff I be talking about.
But you know, I think the biggest word, the ego, man, that constant fight. It's ego. I gotta compare myself to someone. I feel less than compared to someone. And that other person feels less than comparing themselves to someone. We all think that just because this person has money that they don't compare themselves to other people.
Oh, they do. Absolutely.
Like everybody does. Like I know
everybody does. Money, we think money is a solution to our internal struggles that we have, but it ain't. I'm telling you,
You know,
I know people with money, and I'm no.
and you know,
Still internal struggle, still a battle.
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
the thing I realized this week is I'm okay with having like my emotions be kind of in different places. Like sometimes,
Yeah.
like on Monday, I'll be like, let's go.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, I'll be
Yeah.
like, fuck this shit, I'm quitting.
Right. Cause I thought I gotta be positive. I gotta be positive Patty all the time. I said, but if I'm trying to force myself to be positive all the time, that's me lying to myself. That's not being authentic. Like
Exactly.
feelings are feelings, emotions are emotions. Like we do this whole thing of like, don't like, okay, I'm gonna get a little deep on you.
Go
And
ahead.
somebody might feel away, but we just gonna call it what it is. For me, when it comes to religion and the church, the black churches, stop telling people when they feel a way that's not happiness, get over it. Give it to God. Pray about it. Did you pray about it? Stop
Exactly.
and smile. Don't force people to smile about things that are gray. Let
Exactly.
them feel that. Let them go through that because all you're doing is numbing yourself. My homegirl said something. She said she was gaslit by scripture. When basically people like to pull that scripture on you when you feel anyway. And I think about, people in my family do that all the time. I used to feel like a child. I couldn't speak my actual truth of emotions because it was like, don't be mad, be sad, be happy, smile, give it to God. Such and such scripture says this, and you just like, damn, I just want to tell y'all that I'm sad. Again,
Exactly.
when you say you don't have to have an answer to everything, but I see that a lot, and I'm like, nah, if I'm angry, bro, I'm gonna feel angry today. Don't throw scripture on me.
And I agree with that because I was telling my fiance, I said, I just want to be true to whatever emotion I'm feeling. I said, even if it's a petty ass emotion that I'm
Yeah,
gonna get over,
yeah, it's on. Yeah,
like
yes,
it be times I be pouting and I be like, I ain't gonna front. In 10 minutes,
yep,
I'm gonna realize I was on some bull, but I
yeah,
want to be petty right now and be like, I'm
yep,
mad. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
And
Solomon, my grown 31-year-old ass was on this couch having a tantrum about this storm. And guess what? I let my ass have that tantrum. I mean, a tantrum. You would have thought I was 3 how I was acting.
you
But
needed
I
that.
had to have that tantrum.
You needed that.
Instead of like, that meme where girls like, why do that?
And see, that's part of the issue I think I have with things now because I told you I don't know like that middle ground where I either really don't give a fuck or
Yeah.
I care too much. Like,
Yo, that's the real estate.
I'm just saying, like, people be like, damn, bro, you real quiet right now. I respect your growth. I'll be like, I'm really mad as fuck, but I'm just not
Yo,
saying
I
nothing.
promise you, I just talked to my homegirl about that today. I was talking about anger. And I said, the thing is, I'm either gonna lash out or I'm gonna be quiet. And I said, and when I'm quiet, it's like what y'all be talking about, them kids at them schools, and you don't want that. I don't want to be that, but
Bro.
it's my truth.
And that's why, like, it'd be weird because,
That
like I
is
said,
so funny.
it was weird because, like, I told my
Real.
fiance, I said, how is it that when I'm not saying nothing, people want to just like, bro, I love talking to you so
Bruh,
much.
leave me alone.
I was letting clips go. Folk was like, man, fuck Sam. I ain't said nothing in like a month and a half. Bro, I
Right.
want to get you on the show, man. I love you. Man, get out, bro.
Right. When I'm talking, I'll be like, here he go.
That's it.
And when I'm quiet, it's like, well, what's wrong? What's happening? All these questions, bing, 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 like a phone going off. You like,
Hey,
bro.
and that's what's weird. But I don't know. I'm trying to find that middle ground because at work I either really like it or I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. Like so, like Monday I was at work. I was like,
It's the honesty for me.
nah, it's real. Like Monday I was like, all right, so I think I can apply for jobs during work. I think this will work.
In
And
a
by,
panorama, absolutely.
but then today I was like, yeah, I can sign the contract. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just complete
But
opposite.
then that also shows you again how those emotions go. That's why we got to honor our emotions because we can end up making judgments or like choices where it might not be the best at the time for us. Like I used to make really emotional decisions right off the bat, and boy, with them consequences and destruction that come with that, woo child, we talking about a lot of endings
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
that
I
didn't
think
have to happen.
the thing about being like an Aries is like you just want to make decisions.
Yes,
And
and I'm
sometimes you be
playing,
like,
yeah.
I'm in this feeling, I'm gonna do it with this spirit. And afterwards you
Mm-hmm.
be like, I was really tripping. Probably should have thought about that. I was probably tripping. Someone should have told me to take a day to think about it. Because I burnt that whole bridge. Fuck.
Why didn't they tell us to take a day?
That's it.
Why didn't they tell us to take a? Why didn't y'all tell me to take a
Man.
day?
And
I literally saw that bridge behind me and said, "Flick that up." It was
and that's what I'm saying. Like, because I can't post stuff now, I'll be sitting in the car, be like, I'm gonna say this when I get back on. Then I'll be like, nah, don't post that. Don't post that. Don't post that. Don't
oh,
post
you be
that.
doing the drafts?
Oh man, I got so many. I
Okay, so people are doing the drafts because I'll be like, man, they be having fire stuff back to back. Are they like, I'm doing it off the dome? Like, I didn't know. Maybe I should take advantage of the drafts.
I don't stockpile them. No, I like what was getting me is that I would say things exactly how I felt in that moment. And then you come back later like this aged bad.
I love when I tell you I love your Twitter commentary.
Man, I kind of miss it because like Judas and the Black Messiah came out. I had like 6 tweets. I was
oh
like,
my
I'm
god, I need to talk to you about it. We gotta talk about that offline. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to know. Yeah,
that's a conversation.
Oh my god.
And I think the big thing I was just trying to say, because we covered a lot, but I was just really just trying to say, like, people should know people. It is okay to feel how you want to feel, to not be strong, to be
It's okay
completely
to
irrational in your mind or out loud, but just to know, don't make a decision off that feeling. Feel, let it out, think about before you make that move, though.
Absolutely. And it's okay to age. And while your loved ones are aging too, do your best to be present, which is good for your boundaries too. Respect your boundaries too, because sometimes it ain't healthy. We got to call it what it is. Okay.
My younger brother is going through that, and I feel bad for him because he's like, bro, I didn't ask for this shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry that you taking care of him. And I feel bad. But he also, sometimes he just don't pick up his phone. He be like, man, I'm 28. If I want to go out and do something and not pick up my phone, I don't have to. I like respect, bro. I get it.
He don't. I'm getting to that too, and also don't have to guilt trip me over it either.
Oh,
because I cannot show up for people if I didn't water myself, and that's daily. I cannot authentically show up for people if I am just depleted. I'm lying to myself and then gotta go see y'all and put on this whole clown mask and put on this whole show like that shit is sweet.
I was gonna wrap up, but I gotta get to that real quick.
Okay, get in it. Get it.
Y'all, we are so selfish that we can't allow people to build themselves up without asking them what we need from them.
Yes.
Text people before you do something. Say, bro, are you or sis, are you in a place right now?
Right.
To really have a conversation or help me.
Right.
Don't expect people to be able to do stuff for you. You don't know what they got going on. Like,
yes, I got one too.
Go ahead.
Do not hate stranger me. You got my number. It didn't change.
Facts.
You wanted to call or text, you could do that. I can do the same. But please don't hate stranger me. Because that sounds like entitlement and obligation to call you. I don't have to do that. I don't like hate stranger. I just had to say that. I don't like hate stranger.
It needs to be said because the phone works both ways. And I tell people I spent my whole life waiting on people pretty much to call me. And now I just be like, it don't cost nothing to send a text or call somebody.
No.
I was thinking of you, bro.
And I call. Yeah, I call and text when I think about them. Absolutely.
And it's
that whole like, right.
No, I was just gonna say it's like that. I tell people all the time, like that Wale said. He said on the song, he's like, don't doubt if you my nigga. We ain't fall out. So you still my nigga. If I didn't say we not friends, we are still good. Unless I tell you we're not cool, we're good. That's just it.
Wow, that's real. I like that. This is a good episode.
Yeah, it was. I think we covered a lot of good ground in there. But I want to get you guys comments and the thoughts, man, or get you guys thoughts in the comments, man. What do y'all think? How is aging?
Absolutely.
Have y'all seen it in y'all personal lives with your parents or yourselves? And, how do y'all feel about emotional boundaries, man? Do people need to ask first before they burden you with their problems?
Also, aging, how do you feel? Because that's what the episode was about. But yeah, definitely.
Facts. But with that being said, y'all, peace.